Okay, so the Dimir version of the Demonic Pact deck is significantly different, obviously, than the Abzan version. So, whereas the Abzan version is teched against creatures, this one is designed to have a lot more game against control. But one of the major problems with running Demonic Pact and Yorion in the Dimir shell is that you just don't have many good permanents to flicker. So you're really all in on Pact in a way that you weren't with the Abzan version. So we have the same philosophy as with the Abzan version, where we have as many ramp spells as we can fit in. 4 copies of Mind Stone to allow us to cast Demonic Pact on turn 3 instead of turn 4. We also get to run counter spells, and in particular, we get to run Disallow, which is like cancel plus plus. So not only do you get to cancel target spell, counter target spell, you also get to counter activated abilities or triggered abilities, which isn't as relevant as it used to be. But like when it could counter things like Tainted Pact or things like that. But it does have the advantage of being able to counter the you lose the game trigger from Demonic Pact. So 2 copies of that are pretty good. Obviously, we get to run Omen of the Sea. We have 2 copies of Teferi's Time Twist, which is like the Dimir version of Ephemerate. So this can either exile the Demonic Pact directly to reset what the counters on it, or you can exile the Yorion that you have in play, which then comes back into play end step, and then gets to flicker all your good stuff all over again. Hey, MTG Girl, good to see you. How are you doing? Also, we have 2 copies of Yeheni's Expertise, which is my sweeper of choice in the deck. It does hit most of what you need it to hit. And also the value you get from it by being able to cast a Narset that you have in your hand, or a Mind Stone, or a Time Twist, or an Omen that you have in your hand is pretty good. And the tempo swing can be what you need. We also have in the sideboard a few cards that I'm not totally sure about. We have 2 copies of Trial of Ambition, which is basically a flickerable permanent that kills stuff. I feel like this is probably not great against the go-wide decks of the format, like, Gruul or whatever. But it is significantly better than targeted removal against something like Auras. So if we get Trial of Ambition in play and the opponent doesn't have counter spells, when we just play Yori and start flickering Trial of Ambition, then they could probably never get a foothold. We have Grafdigger's Cage as our graveyard hate of choice. We also have 1 copy of Cling to Dust as tech against Jeskai. And speaking of Jeskai, we also, in addition to the main deck, 4 copies of Memory Lapse and Disallow, we also have 3 copies of Dispute, 2 copies of Commence the Endgame, and the 4th copy of Thought Thieves, as well as Thought Distortion. So I feel like this deck could be pretty good. I think where it's going to struggle is against aggro. I don't know if this is going to be good enough against the aggro decks of the format, but Demonic Pact does outpower a lot of what the aggro decks are doing, so I'm hoping it can carry us the rest of the way when we run into those matchups. But this is like my favorite deck that you can play on Arena, so I'm super excited to play this one. Let's give it a go. Girl, how's your day going so far? Sounded from Discord like it was going to be crazy. Okay. So no Demonic Pact, but we do have the Mind Stone available. We do have an Omen to find it. Just get our fetid pools down. Snow-covered forest. Okay, so an aggro deck of some description. Yeah, okay. So we don't really have anything to ramp into at this point. I think I want to get the Omen down to try to dig for our removal. Right. Alternatively, we Mind Stone this turn. Next turn we have Disallow open, and we can Omen of the Sea if they don't cast anything we want to counter. But I think I just want to find removal. I think there's a good chance that we don't want to cast Disallow at all this game. Okay, so it looks like mono green. And Ranger class, alright. This could be rough. Hey Deadzone, welcome back. Well, there's our Demonic Pact, and Yeheni's Expertise is outstanding. We just need to get there. So, I think this turn is going to be Hold Up Disallow. Although, if they pump Ranger class, then we're going to be sad, not getting to use our mana. But then we get to Yeheni's Expertise next turn. and get the Mind Stone into play for free. What's the alternative? We can play Mind Stone this turn and do nothing. I think it's got to be Hold Up Disallow. And hopefully they play a spell rather than pump Ranger class. Actually, we can even disallow the Ranger class trigger. Werewolf Pack Leader, eh? That does die to Yeheni's expertise. It does pump the Pelt Collector, though. I think their plan is to pump the Ranger class with the Llanowar Elves. So I think I'm going to disallow that, the Ranger class trigger, and then wipe this board. No one plays around disallow. It's a card that doesn't see any play in the format. I'd be shocked if they did. Yeah. Ooh, Fatal Push is pretty good, too. And next turn we get to Demonic Pact and hold up Fatal Push. Okay, Old Growth Troll's a good one. So if we Demonic Pact, play the Black Source, and sacrifice Mind Stone to enable Revolt, we don't have the mana to cast Fatal Push anymore, so we're just going to get the Demonic Pact in play. Play the tap land. Say go. Oh yeah, was this allowed in the Kaladesh draft? So now, it being a 5/5 plays around the Demonic Pact pretty effectively, which sucks. I think we just need to draw the cards. Well, I just didn't remember what set Disallow was from. Do we Fatal Push the 2/2 here? I think we do. First Time Twist is reasonably good. Let's just get Narset in play. We'll see what they do. They can Hashep Oasis. They can ding us for 9. Actually. Thoughtseize is not really where we want to be. If they, I think we're dead to a land. They level up the second Ranger class, Hashep Oasis on the Old Growth Troll. No, they're one land short of that. Alright. I think we just say go. We can cycle the Fetid Pools, crack the Mind Stone. Next turn, if they don't kill us, we'll at least be able to Demonic Pact face. Yeah. So this is a 7/7 now? So I think at this point I cycle. Yeah, no such luck. So... okay. I think we cracked the Mind Stone here. It sucks because it's one of the main ways I have to enable the Revolt if we draw another Fatal Push. We can make them discard their cards, which is not that bad. They also did not find a solution to Old Growth Troll. So we're going to need to find one with Narset. We can't flicker Narset with the Time Twist. I think we make him discard here, honestly. Like, gaining 4 doesn't do it. we're still dead to the old growth troll. We must find an answer, and if we find an answer, then we're alive next turn anyway to use that mode of the Demonic Pact. So I think we make them bin their cards in case they have something relevant like that. Like that.
Meditate and prepare.
Okay. Well, so here's what I think we do. We Fatal Push. We have Fatal Push. I think we Teferi's Time Twist the Narset. On their upkeep. To enable Revolt, to kill the troll, and that way when they bring it back, it'll be on their turn, and we get another turn to draw an answer. The alternative is we can Teferi's Time Twist the Narset this turn, get the value off of it, crack the Omen, and then Fatal Push. Which is not bad either, honestly. And it does dig us towards another answer. I think I like that more. Okay, let's do that. Oh, I guess it doesn't come back right away. There was no reason to do that. And we do this now to play around like Snakeskin Veil. Yorian's pretty good. Disallow. It's too late for Disallow, I think, but Yorian feels pretty nice. So that at least does die to the Demonic Pact.
I have just the trick for this.
We basically have to cast Yorian this turn. We can do that. This thing has Trample, so playing Yorian in front of it and then flickering the Yorian still means we take 7. So Yorian's gonna have to go into the bus. It's just gotta be Narset, right? Why does it have to be Mind Stone?
Warrior, I concede.
So are we dead? They have to sack this land, they bring back a 4/4 Trampler, they attack with it, it goes up to 6/6, then... Yeah, second Narset will dig deeper than the Mind Stone. We have tons of mana. But we do have to accept that we just have to throw this, this Yorian under the bus here. Yeah. So this will trample through for 4. We're kind of in the same situation we were last turn. No sense twisting here. Now. We're back again in the situation where gaining the life doesn't do anything. So I think we just need to draw the cards. Lap's not ideal, Drowned Catacomb not ideal.
Hone your prowess.
Jesus. Okay. Like, if we find another way to live through the turn, then Demonic Pact kind of works as a way to kill this. Because it'll go to an 8/8, both Demonic Pact triggers will kill it, but I don't see how we stay alive until that happens. So I think we have to bottom both. Thoughtseize is not going to do it. What outs do we even have left in the deck? Like, exactly Yorion, right? Nothing else? Yeah, I think we're dead. Yeah, we needed to hit Yorion off of that Omen. All the removal spells are gone.
I know 88 ways to speak of thoughtfulness before action.
Yeah, Yahenni's expertise doesn't do it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we dug super deep. And there's the Yorion. That Yorion would have done it. Just too little, too late. Okay. So we get to bring in our removal here, though. Which are copies of Languish, Trial of Ambition. I think the Thoughtseizes are like meh. Disallow seems pretty bad too. Something like this honestly seems more than fine. I think Narset's an important card. I don't really want to take her out. She's also one of the main reasons to play Yahenni's expertise. The Languish isn't great if their creatures get too big, but I think this is what we're working with. Okay. Alright. I think we bolt the bird here, right? Yeah. Nothing. What does nothing mean? I think I'm gonna Omen main phase in case I hit a tap land. Yeah. Which seems pretty good. It's kind of greedy to bottom the 5th land, isn't it? When we have a Yorion. Okay, we'll do this. Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting Garrick's Harbinger. Very glad we kept the Languish. Yeah, unfortunately that just needs to die on the spot. Which means taking a turn off of Demonic Pact, but I think it's worth it. So their hand is like full of 3 drops and 4 drops, because they took turn 2 off. Wow. Oops. Now is the time to just Mind Stone plus Demonic Pact, I think. And our Yorion next turn is going to be outstanding. Ceratops is, like, fine, because it dies to Demonic Pact. I'm happy to just kill this. And maybe we don't even play the Orion. Maybe we just play the second Demonic Pact. Ooh, Snakeskin Veil. Okay. Does that change anything? Next turn we're going to take 6, 7. Like, the Orient doesn't deal with Ceratops. We'll take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But then we can kill the Llanowar Elves with the Demonic Pact and play Yori and Flicker the Trial to kill the Ceratops. I think I buy that. If they pump the Ceratops, we're pretty thrilled with that, right? So now we just take 10. If they have, like, Snakeskin Veil number 2... we can't really play around that. I was going to make them discard it, but then they just cast it in response to the trigger. So I think we have to draw 2. We'll target the Llanowar Elves. Okay. So even if they have the Snakeskin Veil, it's not going to save them. I should have tapped the Mind Stone to cast Yorion. I guess they could have second Ceratops, which would make some sense. This doesn't matter now. I wanted to tap the Mind Stone in response to the Orion trigger. And are we into casting Narset here, or are we into cycling Fetid Pools? I guess I should have played the Narset first to minus it. I'm playing Narset.
Focused and disciplined, and keep an open mind.
Okay. Troll. And Pack Leader. Okay. So we just realistically kill everything here, right? Oh, baby.
Meditate. And
That seems really
prepare.
good, too. I mean, I guess we're still soft to the Ceratops. Is there anything we can do about that? I guess what we have to do is we have to play Yorion, so that if they do draw the other Ceratops, at least we have the Drain 4 available to kill it the following turn. So, sure. Yorion it is. Yeah. Yeah. That is, that's good stuff. Okay. I love playing this deck so much. This is Demonic Pact is just so much fun. It's bad, but it's fun. I think this hand is way too slow. Like, if we had Omen of the Sea, or if we had, like, Mind Stone, I'd be tempted. But I think we have to mull this. This is better. I just keep this, and I put back... It's either Fetid Pools or Watery Grave. I think it's Fetid Pools. Like, we want all 4 lands to be able to cast Languish on time. So they had the Llanowar Elves again. This despite a mulligan to 6. Alright. So how do we do this? We cast Trial of Ambition, kills the Llanowar Elves, which all that really does is it prevents them from committing so much to the board, and I do want them to commit to the board. So our Languish will be good. Of course, if they have Ceratops... Actually, if they have Ceratops, I want them to play that too, right? But we also need something to do on turn 3. Ugh. This sucks. I think Memory Lapse is going to hit something more relevant than Trial of Ambition would. Yeah, like that. So they'll probably play that again next turn if I kill the Llanowar Elves with Trial. And then we can Languish the board. We'll be down to 10. The alternative is not really great. I suppose if they're going to play Old Growth Troll next turn no matter what, which they showed that that's what they would probably do, there's no reason to play the Trial of Ambition now, and Trial of Ambition gets better once this elf isn't on the board. So maybe we set up for Languish, followed by a turn of Trial of Ambition plus Memory Lapse. This has the added ability, like the added nice component of holding up Memory Lapse for like a Coco, if they somehow have it in hand. Although they would have cast that last turn if they had it. Yeah. So if Snakes Can Veil is their last card, then they can pump something out of range of Languish and we lose. But I think that this is, like, pretty much the only way we have to win this game. Yeah. Okay. I mean, at some point we just need to draw, a friggin' spell. We have drawn a ton of land. We're in some trouble here. Yeah, Henny's Expertise isn't going to do it either, because this is going to be a 4-4. Not to mention they can just power up the lair. Yeah, I think we're dead. Maybe Yorion does it for us? But honestly, probably not. So this lair goes to... It's a 2-2. They attack us for 5. If they do that, at least they're not holding up the mana to... Oh, that's interesting. So they can't bring back the old growth trolls this turn because they sacked the... or they tapped the forest, but... yeah, I think we drew, like, all land this game. Like, literally all land. So, can't do much when that happens. So, good game. That sucks. I think I played the game 3 fine. The only thing I'm not sure about was the mulligan decision on turn 1. Or for the first hand. I still felt like that hand was too slow. And they did have, like, turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion on the play. So I think I was right. Like, if I had kept that, I still think we lose. Just we lose with spells trapped in our hand instead of flooding out. Anyway, we have Mindstone into Demonic Pact, which is what we're here to do. Alright, this will be an interesting one. Question is, can we kill their stuff before it outsizes our removal? Maybe. So they don't have the Pride Mate on 2. So that's nice. Spellbinder's irritating. So that's going to take our Demonic Pact, and we essentially lose. We could rip Yeheni's Expertise off the top. Whoa. They took Lapse? So they have Coco. I mean, it's Coco, right? Like, there's no other reason to take the Lapse over the Pact in that spot. So we're going to take 3, 5, 6 here at least. Okay. So... I guess they don't have Coco? In any case, what do we do here? Like, do we... Oh. So now we need to rip Yeheni's Expertise off the top? Gonna take Mind Stone? It's gotta be Pact, surely. Taking Mind Stone. No respect. So, if we shoot something here, like say we shoot the Apparition, we get a 2-2 blocker. They power up the Cave, which is a 3-4. So it'll be 3, 6, 7, 9, 10 damage, of which we can block 2. And we're alive. We're at 14, we'll be down to 6. If we draw 2 cards and we don't hit removal, like if we don't hit exactly Yahenni's expertise, then we just lose. So I think we're gonna ding the apparition here. Buy myself another turn. Because the more turns the game goes on, the more value we get out of the Demonic Pact. We have the memory lapse. Face up, they know about it. They'll probably just power up the cave here. They don't power up the cave, which is interesting. They just attack us for 5? I mean, given that our main out is a board wipe anyway, I think I'm just going to use this 2-2 now. Try to keep our life total high. Okay. So, now what? We're at 11. They're attacking for 1, 4, 6, 7, 10. So we're not dead. Skycave Apparition will come down, target Demonic Pact. We'll be able to time twist it in response to save it. Alternatively, we play Yorion here, flicker the Demonic Pact, they play Skyclave Apparition, they target the Demonic Pact, and we're just kind of sad. We need to find a board wipe at all costs. Yorion is not going to stabilize the board for us, I don't think. Unless they're just super pansies. Although, 1, 4, 6, 7. If they play the Skyclave Apparition, they can't power up the Frost Dragon. But I think they're going to do it anyway, because this isn't lethal. But if we find the board wipe, and we're super low anyway, then the Cave of the Frost Dragon will just come in and finish us off. So I think it does actually have to be Yorion here, as much as that sucks. What is up with this? People have been conceding in, like, what I think is a winning position all day. They even know half of our hand. I don't know what... I don't understand. Alright, so... want our board wipe. Want our Fatal Push. Trial of Ambition seems pretty good. Disallowed does not. Thoughtseize is, like, medium, because it hits Coco. We saw Coco, right? No, I guess we didn't, but there's no way this deck isn't running it. What are our other cuts? Honestly, Memory Lapse just seems kind of medium. I think I cut 1 Lapse, 1 Narset. Nah. This game is all about digging for board wipes, not, like, one for wanting them. We need the Narset. She's also worth life points if they attack her down. So, not really worried. Okay, I'm gonna try this, I think. I mean, Mindstone into Yahenni's expertise. If they have, Lead Spellbinder, we're really upset, but that's just the way of the world. Hopefully we draw something that we can cast off of the Yahenni's expertise. Right now we're kind of empty. But instead we draw land. And please don't Spellbind me. Okay. Okay. Nice. This is... actually shit. That's not good. I mean... oh, that's actually... this actually gains 1 life for them, too. Alright, thanks for coming out, Dead Zone. Nice seeing you. Oh, no. Yeah, catch you next time. I mean, if we draw, like, Fatal Push or something, this game's not over. Little too late. Realistically, I don't think we can afford to just trade our language with the Spellbinder. I guess we're playing Sad Yorion. Yorion at least blocks the Spellbinder. Hopefully they commit a little more to the board, we get to wipe it. And stall long enough to find an answer to this Pridemate. Maybe I'm supposed to have, like, instead of Languish, like Ritual of Soot or something. Yeah, we don't block this. Because it'll get bigger next turn. I guess we're playing Yeheni's Expertise. Alternatively, we can Languish and hold up drawing with the Mind Stone, which I guess is a little better. Yeah, I guess it is. So if we're dead to removal, we're dead to a lot. Company is probably game over. That's, like, honestly kind of okay, because our answers are Fatal Push. Actually, Henny's Expertise costs 8 now. Okay, so we need to find... we need to find Fatal Push at all costs here. What does a better job of finding it? Omen could dig up... Omen digs 3 deep. Narset also digs 3 deep. I guess Omen allows us to have a redraw if we hit, like, another Omen or something. Narset doesn't allow that. Okay.
I train every day. No, I have just the trick for
Not
this.
quite. Yeah, the languages are probably supposed to be Ritual of Soot, now that I think more about it. Still think the boarding is solid. I mean, it's slow, but it has a board wipe. We're on the play. If we're lucky, then if they have the turn 2 Pridemate, it still won't be able to outsize the languish in time. I'm gonna keep. I'm not in love with it. On Jeff. Their hand, honestly, their draw was pretty good last game, too. We could use a bad one out of them. And they did mull to 5. Okay, Soul Warden is an outstanding draw. Or, sorry, Mindstone is an outstanding draw. So if they have the turn 2 Pridemate, we can Languish. If they don't, then we can wait. Okay, Thalia. Thalia's annoying. Fatal Push is pretty nice, though. So, next turn, say they play Pridemate, they'll gain 1, Pridemate goes up to a 3-3. Still be able to cast Languish. I'm just gonna get Narset in play, I think. We also have the option to Fatal Push the Thalia. I guess just Narset. So if they have Spellbinder here, that sucks. But they did mull to 5, so if they curve out 1, 2, 3 with pretty good spells on a mull to 5, then, you know, say la vie.
My mind needs a rest.
No, I did it. Okay. So they must take Languish here, and nothing else makes sense. We are creeping our way up to casting it in spite of that. Because we'll kill the Thalia, and then we'll be able to cast the Languish for 6, and we're already going to 5 next turn. Yorion ain't bad either. So let's do this. Let's, Fatal Push, kill Thalia. Do we play the Fetid Pools here? I guess if I was gonna do that, then I shouldn't have killed Thalia first. I should have waited until their end step, in case they have another in hand. Nah, we'll play Narset here.
If you wish to surrender now, I put thoughtfulness before action.
Trial of Ambition seems okay. The hell was that? When you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it and scry 1. Okay, so if they have another creature, it goes to a 4/4. That's scary. We need untapped land.
I have reached.
Got there. Now if they play one creature, then Trial of Ambition will deal with it. Even if they play 2, then Trial of Ambition plus Yori in the following turn will deal with those 2. So I think we're in an okay spot here. Fatal Push also pretty nice. Let's just develop our board. Trial of Ambition, the kind of card you want to play early and often. And I could be convinced to draw with the Mind Stone, but we'll see. Spellbinder. This is like... So if they take Yorion, we can still cast it next turn. They take Fatal Push. Who really cares? So now I won't crack the Mind Stone, because we'll need the 7 mana to cast the Orion next turn, which I definitely want to do. We don't have Revolt enabled, right? Because Revolt is when it leaves the battlefield? Yeah. Not when it leaves your hand. We could crack the Mind Stone, enable Revolt, kill the Spellbinder that way. Meh. Ooh. I think that changes things. Alright. Let's start by cracking the Mind Stone. Which enables Revolt. And now we get the Demonic Pact in play. And we have a Yorion coming down with 7 mana next turn, which gets to flicker both of these things. Obviously, we're somewhat concerned about Coco. But, Demonic Pact, making them discard 2, feels pretty nice. And there you go. So 1-1 with Dimir Pact, Dimir Demonic Pact. And let's see if we can get to 2-1. Alright, Joey is our last victim. I mean, we've been playing against aggro all day. So I don't want to throw away any hand that has Fatal Push. Even if the Disallow is kind of slow and the Narset is kind of slow and we don't have ramp into Demonic Pact. We're on the draw. Hopefully we can find something like a Mind Stone or something to fill in the curve. Or more land, sure. Okay, so this is probably mono blue. So I want the Fatal Push available on 1. Yep. Yeah. And don't obsession me. I've seen like almost no mono blue playing Historic for like the last few months, and I've seen it twice today, which makes me think someone must have played it. Now, if they have a counterspell, I want to get it out of them so that I can get Demonic Pact in play, rather than cast Disallow. Narset also does deal with their Curious Obsession in its own way. Do I minus?
So many mysteries to uncover.
I think I do. Because they're not going to be able to kill it pre-combat.
Keep an open mind.
I just want multiple ways to flicker this Demonic Pact so that it gets around their counter magic. Yeah, so... Oh, wow. Nothing. Fuck it, I'm gonna play Demonic Pact. If they counter it, they counter it. Suppose they could bounce it. That would suck.
forget our time together.
I think I'm down to just make them discard too, frankly. Double unsummon. I'm very glad we got through that pocket of land. And we do have Disallow available. Can they pump the Terramander? No, right? They just killed the Terramander. Narset seems great. I'm purposely not. I'm not going to use Disallow if they counter it. Like, I'll just give up Narset in that case. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's Memory Lapse. We have the multiple time twists. We can recur the Demonic Pacts over and over again. Still gonna shock in, though. So this is only if it deals damage to an opponent, right? So they still need to attack Narset down with this. Still gonna counter it.
I must focus.
Okay. So... if these last two cards are both counter spells, then playing Yorion is greedy. It's not crazy. They haven't played any creatures. This way, if they counter it, we memory lapse, they counter again. Then we can still Teferi's Time Twist. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so Mystical Dispute seems very good against the mono blue deck. Against the endgame seems fine. Languish is like... okay. Fatal Push. Distortion is like alright. Honestly, like Demonic Pact feels like the worst card in the deck against mono blue. But like, what can I say? I came here to play against... I came here to play Demonic Pact. Ah, screw it. We're gonna keep Demonic Pact in the deck. I don't love it. Yeah. But honestly, I'm not sure what to cut. Maybe the board wipes are bad? We do need some way to deal with their creatures. Like, we are light on removal. If we cut the board wipes, then we almost have nothing. I need to make 6 cuts. And the cuts should probably be Demonic Pact and Time Twist. Fine. Question is, do I want to win more, or do I want to play Demonic Pact more? And usually my answer is going to be I want to win more. Do we get the Land of Shame? I guess it wouldn't matter. They could... Oh, wow. Never mind. Well, I think we lose. One drop into Double Curiosity on the play. Ruar Mystical Dispute. I mean... That's gonna be a tough one to beat. Oh, I wouldn't have tapped the Mind Stone, but... So, we need to find removal. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're dead. Yeah, this is the dream for them. It's gonna get countered for sure. Yep. But we have to try. I'm gonna try again. Yeah. Thought about commencing there, but the problem is the commence token doesn't block this aerial threat the way Yorion does. Need to find, like, Fatal Push.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
Why wouldn't you counter the Narset? Why would you counter the Narset trigger instead of the Narset? Okay. So I guess we're omening on their turn to try to find Fatal Push? Alright, well now we're doing it on our turn. Another Sky Noodle, huh? I guess that means we have to stick around. So, Fairy Vandal is on 5 toughness now, so even Languish
I shall miss
doesn't deal with it. I guess we have Lapse. Quite glad that I didn't leave the Demonic Pacts in. It would be, I think, extraordinarily dead in that case. No, we're extraordinarily dead anyway, right? Yep. Let's see. Would we have ever found a removal spell? Yep, there they are. Even that might not have been good enough. Well, actually, both of those would have been good enough. Oh well, what are you gonna do? That sucks. But our big, dumb sorcery speed deck was not really equipped to deal with that draw out of the opponent. So we're on the play again. I think on the play, the trials get better. The languishes. Somehow I talked myself out of those last time. I think that's kind of crazy. I think we do need them. Narset is like, okay. I want all of this. Maybe it's like Yorion. Like, we've boarded out a lot of our blinkable stuff. It's really just Omen and Trial at this point, now that the demonic packs are gone. So maybe it's not crazy to board out the Orions. Alright, let's try that. Okay, sure. Would love it if they mulliganed. They do. So, of course, every time they mulligan, our Thoughtseize gets a little bit better. Alright, Obsession. So it's either, like, Obsession or, like, the Octopus here. Or, yeah, it has to be Obsession. We're also going to need to find an answer to the Octopus later, but hopefully that's what Omen of the Sea is able to do. I think I'm fine Mind Stoning here. And see if they have the guts to mutate on their turn. I don't think they will. Because, okay. Because this seems to play right into removal, right? Jeez. Okay. Guess we're gonna cast Omen. Borrow my mind stuff. Okay. Yes, please. So, if they have Spell Pierce, that sucks. But we have to go for this. Nice. And I think I'm pretty down to Thoughtseize him. Borrower and Vandal. So Vandal is pretty nice with the Spectral Sailor. Borrower is kind of evil, frankly. I'm gonna take the Vandal. That's pretty nice. Let's see what they do. That's just dispute. Spectral Sailor. Okay. They're gonna draw a bunch of cards. See if we can draw anything useful here. I've seen worse. So we'll Fatal Push after they draw their card? Or after they trigger? Yeah, after they declare they're going to draw a card, yeah. Now we can kill it. We do need to find another answer to this Sailor. They can redraw the Curiosity, but they can't play it. Or, well, now they can. Nice. God, this deck is annoying. Alright, so we need to find another answer, another removal spell. So I'm just going to try to dig as deep as possible. Yeah. It's really hard to put these away. So this Brazen Borrower is in hand. They'll be able to bounce my Yorion and get in. I think I just want to try to kill this Sailor. Yorion is hard to say no to, but I think they're going to bounce it almost certainly. We already have a Narset in hand. Let's spot them both. Trial of Ambition is okay. They can flash in the Sailor in response, but if we draw untapped land, then we can Trial of Ambition into Yorion unless they find a counter. Instead we find tapped land. See if we can find Fatal Push.
I know 88 ways. I have just the trick for this.
A dispute that we can't cast, huh? So they'll flash in the Borrower, sacrifice that to the Trial of Ambition. At least they don't get to draw off the Sailor this turn, and then next turn we're threatening to Yorion Blink the Trial. They sack the... Oh. That can't possibly be good for us, can it? So they're just going to try to kill us, which means they think they have enough counterspells to just keep me off the board forever. That's pretty scary.
Hone your prowess.
Distortion, huh? So if they have another flash creature, and we cast Thought Distortion, then we just lose. I think it's gotta be Yorion. They have a counter, and we're gonna die. It's just, them's the breaks. No? Are we dead to another Borrower? They bounce Yorion, flash in the Borrower. We take 3 next turn. I do want the mana in play to have a chance at casting whatever we draw off commence the endgame next turn. They do have another Borrower. And we can maybe find a removal spell off these Omens, finally. Well, ideally, we would find a instant speed removal spell, but Memory Lapse is pretty good. And Yorion is coming back. I think we keep the Lapse. sweet. I'm wondering what these two cards were. I'm blown away that they sacked the Sailor that had Curiosity on it, but maybe they just felt like they had no way to beat the Narset? In any case, 2-1. On the day, I think we're either 4-2 or 5-1 with Demonic Pact decks, which is pretty wild. Not gonna lie. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for today. I have a hockey game I have to get to soon. I don't think I'll get through another set. I was going to play through Mistman's Grixis deck, but I think I'll save that for Wednesday. So, thank you everyone for coming out. As always, I appreciate you all. It was nice seeing you. And if you don't mind, stick around with me for just a second. And let's go raid another degenerate gamer, Lord Kaiju, who is one of the sweetest people you're ever going to meet. Show him lots of Kirby's, lots of love. And show him the general superiority of my chat compared to his. See you guys.